everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name's Andrea Solorzano, and on this channel we talk all things about manifestation, self-development, and personal growth. So if you like that type of content, go ahead and like and subscribe, and let's go ahead and get right into the video. The topic of this video is being afraid to be seen and how to shake yourself out of that. I can definitely relate when it comes to being fearful of being seen. I think I had struggled with this all my life. For those of you who don't know my story, who just came onto this channel and who are new here, my story is that I grew up with a single mother. We moved around a lot, and we grew up in a cult because of my stepfather at the time. I was sexually abused, and when I was a child, and also when I was in college, I was raped. So there's a lot of reasons why I can attest to being fearful of being seen. I think part of it is feeling unsafe, right? Predators around. So I know how that feels, but at some point in your life, you have to basically take control and tell yourself that this is no longer allowed in my life, and I am an adult now and I can take care of myself. So I think a lot of that fear of being seen comes from whatever childhood trauma that you had gone through. If need be, then yes, like go to therapy, because it is so important. I was in therapy for a few years, and yeah, now here I am today. I feel like I've learned and I've done so much inner work and inner child healing that I'm here today and here to talk to you about what's helped me and what are some of the triggers and stuff that I've recognized in order to basically get through this fear of being seen. One of the things that really helped me was, of course, like I said, therapy. Hypnotherapy had helped me tremendously. I had only done like 2 sessions, but oh my gosh, they get deep into your subconscious, and then they ask you like the really hard questions that you don't even think to ask yourself. And so definitely check it out, look into it. But one of the things that I recognized, one of the first triggers was like what I mentioned earlier, was fear of being unsafe due to whatever you had gone through. And the second thing I would say is I feel like so many people have a fear of making a mistake. I know for me, I had like this perfectionist attitude where I could not complete a project unless it felt like it was perfect to me. And the thing about me was I was putting my standards like way too high, and I wasn't allowing that growth within myself to get some momentum. I pretty much had these really high standards from the beginning, and I knew I couldn't achieve it. And I was allowing myself to get disappointed in that process. So you could say I was addicted to suffering. I did not want to, I don't know, I felt like it was comfortable for me to talk about how shitty things are. And that gets old very quickly, or for as long as you want it to get old. For whatever you're going through, there is a solution out there for it. I think we just have to surrender ourselves and our ego to the solution and to being open for those ideas, solutions to come to you. Kind of got off track. Yeah, so I think going back to what I was saying about things not perfectly aligning into whatever standards that you have, I think the perfectionist attitude and the perfectionist perspective, I realized that was like a sense of unworthiness. Like it was just another reason for me to feel unworthy and to feel like I just couldn't believe in myself. It just kind of helped back up that story. And it wasn't until I started to actively decide that I'm going to tell a different story and literally practice telling that story to myself day in and day out, like just going over, rehearsing, almost like you're playing a character into your life and you're rehearsing the role that you are playing into for that day. Every day it's always been something that I just have to surrender to if I choose to level up my life. And you can too. You can surrender to whatever you want to manifest into your life. It's just a matter of understanding that you have triggers, you have fears, and it's something that you have to work through. There's no other way around it. Like, you have to face them. You have to shed light on those things in order to be able to get past it, to understand what went wrong here and how can I better prepare myself in case this happens again, like in case this trigger pops up again. And it's just about gathering that momentum, and that is the process that people are talking about. When people say, oh, enjoy the process, and I would get so frustrated when people would say that. I went to school for art. That was like the main thing that was always taught to us, was enjoy the process through your painting process. And it was just so frustrating to hear that, because I would get so frustrated with my paintings. I would get so annoyed with like not understanding how to make a certain face or whatever it was, or to be able to blend the color perfectly. The professors would always say, enjoy the process. And so what I understand from that now is it's always going to be a work in progress, and sometimes you just gotta face, like, you're at where you're at, and you ask yourself, like, how can I grow from this? Ask yourself those questions, ask the right questions in order to move forward and have the courage to move forward. Okay, so the last thing I wanna say, if you are feeling fearful of being seen, I would say that you might, and this might be really hard to hear, so brace yourself. You might be judging, you might be judging other people and yourself way too much. I mean, honestly, you shouldn't be judging anybody at all. And I think, oh gosh, this was something that was really hard for me. I definitely judged people online. I had such a hard time seeing what other people would post, because I'd be like, oh, she's showing too much skin, or I don't even know, like coming up with all of these excuses for other people and for myself to feel more comfortable in my own story for not doing whatever it is that I wanted to do. Like, I would judge other people for doing what they like to do. And first off, that's totally unfair, because I don't know their life story and I don't know how long it took for them to get there. And second of all, like, it didn't help me. Like, there was no value in judging other people or even judging myself. So I had to give that up. And I feel like because I don't judge anybody for where they're at, I have a much better time just kind of putting myself out there, because if I'm not judging anybody, then like, I don't know, like, am I attracting those people who are judging me? I don't know. And I honestly don't care. I guess I'm living my life. I'm doing what it is that I want to do. And at the end of the day, as long as I'm happy and I'm satisfied with where I'm at and where I'm going, then it doesn't really matter who is judging me. I am giving myself permission and allowing myself to pursue what it is I want to do every day. So there is no shame in that for me. I've also kind of come to peace with shame. I feel like my earlier videos, and I'm still growing, right? I'm still, like, as of right now, I have 12 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I have no shame in putting myself out there anymore, because I feel like I've become, I don't know, just authentically myself. Like, this is how I am, and the way I'm talking to you right now is the way I would talk to my friend. It would be the way that I would talk to my mom, or my boyfriend. Like, it's the same way that I would act with anybody else. So I don't think there's any shame in putting myself out there for who I am, because I feel like I own myself. If you don't like it, then you can go to a different channel, right? Like, there's no remorse for that. It doesn't matter if you like something else. There's going to be, as long as I find somebody who actually resonates with this content, if I find somebody who actually says, wow, that was really helpful, I'm gonna think about that differently now because of what I heard on your channel, I've done my job, right? There is no shame in helping a person. And if I have to put myself out there in order to do that, then that's what I'm gonna do. Hey, as long as it feels good for me and you're receiving it in a way that it resonates with you, then that's what makes me happy. That honestly brings joy to my heart, because this for me right now feels joyful. Like, it feels like a good time. I like talking about these things. I feel like this is the deep stuff that I enjoy connecting with people on. It's past surface level conversation, and it gets kind of right to the point, like right to the nitty gritty of these things. And I feel like that's something that not a lot of people talk about in everyday conversation. So it kind of gives me a chance to be able to express myself, and for you guys to see my personality, and for me to get to know you guys. If you guys have comments or questions on anything, it gives me that sense of gratitude and joy that I have been seeking. So this is what I feel like I want to do, and I am past the point of feeling scared of being seen. If I make a mistake, I know that I can move forward, and along the way, while I'm moving forward, I grow from that. And that's just the beauty of it. So if you're feeling scared about putting yourself out there, let's say if you want to start a YouTube channel, just start it. This is your sign to do that. If you feel like you want to start a business, just try it. There's so many things that I've done that I have failed at, and I feel like, again, I was so embarrassed about all of those failures, about not making it, about putting myself out there and then shying away. But at this point, it's like, what do you got to lose, right? You have one life, you are here on this floating rock, and nothing is guaranteed except you passing. So why the fuck not, right? Like, this is your sign to start a YouTube channel. And I wasn't even trying to make this video today, but I just felt called that I needed to send out this message. So hopefully you guys enjoy what I'm giving to you and what I'm putting out there. If you don't, that's cool too. I hope you find what you're looking for. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.